fantastic win and just a great battle, great basketball game, two good teams going at it. And we thought it would be a battle, and we just tried to hang in there and play really hard, and we just kept telling the players that they hang in and keep playing hard, that maybe we could break it open at some point in time, and we finally did. So really, really proud of our basketball team. It's a big win to build on, and we will continue to try to get better.
You weren't very happy about that no call in the second half.
Oh, I didn't. No, the officials did a good job. I get a little worked up over there sometimes. I've been acting really good this year and had been behaving pretty well. And I reverted back to some poor behavior. I'll have to work on that as we move forward.
Do you feel like that your team responded after that?
I don't know. I don't know if they did or not. They responded to something. I don't know if that was what they responded to, but we just kept fighting. It was such a tough game. And, as you're out there watching it, I don't know if you're like me, you're just wondering if this is going to actually work. If it's going to actually work to just keep trying to push the tempo. I don't know if they ever got up 8. Maybe they got up 8, 8 one time, and you're sitting there thinking maybe this isn't such a good idea. They're shooting 56% at halftime. You're thinking maybe this isn't such a good idea. But you have to stay committed, and we just believed we could finally break it open. And I just made some tough plays. It didn't look pretty all the time, but they responded to the moment. It was a big moment. They won. Real proud of our players.
When you were talking about hanging in there and perhaps breaking it open at some point in time, was that your overall message at halftime, or what did you say to them at halftime?
Well, so frustrated at halftime because our offense was just not aggressive. And that's nothing against, not to say Duke doesn't have a good defense, they do. We were just standing and we weren't making it very hard on Duke. And you saw 12 turnovers in the first half. And it really, we are fueled totally on turnover margin. We need the turnover margin to be against a team like Duke between 8 and 10. That's where we need it. And it was 3 at halftime. And I felt like we had just too many careless turnovers. So we tried to talk to them about just valuing the ball. It was not going to look pretty all the time, but just don't cough it up. If you have to heave it up at the shot clock going off, just don't throw it to them, was the message at halftime. And we tried to show them a couple things that maybe might help them. But you see 4 turnovers in the second half, and there's the story of the game right there.
Matthew, you had a couple of freshmen who played really well. What does that tell you about young kids when they perform that way in this type of environment on this type of stage?
Well, it tells you that we were fortunate that those kids signed with Kentucky, and we recruited some good players, and that's a credit to our assistant coaches and our players and just the atmosphere that is Kentucky. And so real fortunate that Bria Goss has been steady. Really proud of Asia Bishop. We worked hard with her this week. She had been underperforming. There's no question about it. And we had a long talk and let her know we believed in her ability, that she needed to start playing better. And she's worked a lot harder and practiced harder, and I was pleasantly surprised. I thought she would start doing better, but she really was able to rise to the occasion tonight. So good for those 2 freshman players, and they're good players.
A little more on Bishop. Matthew, what kind of potential does she have? Because she did some really amazing things.
Well, I think that she could be one of the best post players around. I think if you look at her tools and her gifts, that they are substantial. And one thing you haven't seen yet is her ability to shoot the ball. She can really shoot the 3, but the game's moving so fast for her right now, that just hasn't come around. But I'm telling you, she has a lot of ability, but she struggles with just staying focused every day. And that happens with a lot of freshmen. And but if she will work as she has the last couple of days and play that way, then the sky's the limit. But it has a lot of gifts.
Matthew, happy holidays to you.
Thank you.
You mentioned the first half and the way the girls played. Would you attribute that to the playing here at Rupp Arena, the crowd, and for that reason, could we see them play at least one game a year here so they get used to this atmosphere?
Well, the great crowd. A fantastic job by people showing up tonight. I really appreciate that, and I can't thank people enough. And I thought the crowd actually helped us in the first half. I thought we were playing a little we weren't playing a lot of intelligence on offense with their zone. And zone, a lot of times, is about making some reads, and sometimes players don't set screens the way they do in man offense. And I just thought it was a lack of execution more than the venue, as you see, unless we just can't shoot very good on that end and we shoot better on the other end. I don't know what to tell you about the building, but the building was fantastic. And the atmosphere was great, and whether we play down here, I don't know, but we were awfully happy to get a win tonight.
Coach, what did the team do different the second half to eliminate the looks right at the bucket that Duke was getting in the first half?
Well, one thing that we were doing in the first half, I thought poorly, was we were not defending dribble penetration, and we were helping too early. And so we were giving up on the drive. We were just opening, what we call opening the gate, and letting the kid just drive straight to the basket. We call that a straight line drive. Too many straight line drives, too much help. And I told them the whole key of this game was trying to keep the ball in front of you so you didn't have to rotate and help. And you know, that helped us a little bit. And then I just thought Duke played really tough and just worked hard and just, you know, eventually got some shots that you could not have done a whole lot about. So a lot of the looks at the basket, because they have real tall, good basketball players, and there wasn't a whole lot we could do with that. So, but I thought we defended the ball much better in the second half. Thought that maybe was a product of our pressure. And to come out tied on the boards with that kind of size disadvantage for much of the game, we played 4 guards most of the game, is a real testament to our kids' toughness.
2 more.
Matthew, you just talk about, you're in the middle, straight ahead. Can you talk about the 2 wins back to back? I know there's a long season, a lot to go, but what the confidence level of this team, and then also when you get a crowd in like this tonight, how big it is to pull a win out and maybe they'll come back.
That is, you just couldn't put it much more succinctly. That is just the whole key tonight was this opportunity. And you try to get your kids, you don't want them to play tight, and we didn't really talk about it, Jody, but that was in my mind, boy, I just hoped we could play well. And if we could find a way to win, you capitalize on a moment like this, and you just try to continue to build and create energy, and we just need to keep at it. And I think people appreciate how hard the players play. I will tell you this, they practice so hard, we're so demanding of them, and so it's great that people recognize that. It's great to be in Kentucky where people care about basketball. It's great to have an administration that's behind you and will make an event like this come off. And so the win is the best marketing tool we can ever have, is win a game like this, and I think people will come back.
Matthew, you've beaten the number 10 team and the number 6 team in the country in the last 2 games, and you've got 2 McDonald's All-Americans who haven't even played yet. I mean, what's the ceiling for your team?
Well, I think we can be good. The trick with us is trying to make them understand that this was a great night, and this means a lot only if we continue to work really hard and we continue to win games and we continue to get better as a team. I don't think we are nearly as good offensively as we can become. And so I think the ceiling's high for this team. I think we can be good. I think they have put themselves in a position physically where you can continue to run the ball back at people. I think that's one of the best things we do right now. We just continue to come at you. And as we develop the team and get a little bit better maybe in the half court, I think we could be very good. But I'm real excited for them tonight. They worked hard tonight, and great win for our program and for Kentucky.
Matthew, in the first half you gave a lot on the baseline, and I was wondering what you might have done to
I'm sorry, can you start over?
In the first half you gave up a lot on the baseline, and I was wondering what kind of adjustments you might have made to slow it down the second half.
Well, that's what we were talking about earlier with the baseline drive. We needed to do a better job squaring that up and trying to cut them off before they get all the way into the paint. And so that was just a product of playing better on-ball defense. Thanks.